Bono, and I have a really great layout for us to do tonight. It is a CM sketch that was in the virtual crop, but it was just such a fun one, and I wanted to show you some variations just by changing the paper. Now, I really like using stripes, but sometimes stripes are difficult to work with. But when you cut them into a banner formation, such as this, it really shows off the stripe and then really pops your layout. So we're going to be doing 3 banners tonight, the top, and then on the bottom, there's 2 overlapping banners. So this is the layout using US of Yay and some various stickers from other patriotic collections. This is another layout using Party Time Blue. I was trying to do something a little bit more masculine, and then at the bottom. So that is Party Time Blue. And tonight I'm going to do this layout using Back to School. So let's get started with what you need. You're going to need 2 base papers, and they need to be something that you can blend. So I'm going to be using a white for my 2 bases. And then you need a paper that's going to be your top banner. And like I said, I like to use stripes. So in this Back to School collection from Creative Memories, these are all the papers for some of the papers for the Back to School. I'm going to be using this stripe for my banner at the top of both pages. Then you're going to need a 6-inch strip that goes down the middle to anchor your page. And I'm going to use the red from that Back to School kit. Then we need 2 coordinating papers to do the 2 smaller banners on the bottom. So I'm going to be doing my 1 layer in this yellow and the next layer in the school supplies. And then for mats, you need 1 full page because we need 6 mats 4 by 6. And all we're going to use is our trimmer and our scissors. And we're going to have some fun. Okay, so to get started and to make this very first banner at the top, well, first what we want to do is anchor our bottom. So let's anchor our bottom base, and I'm going to put red through the center of the bottom here to anchor that. And we just need 1 12 by 12, and we're going to cut that in half at the 6-inch mark. So cut that in half at the 6-inch mark. And let's go ahead and tape this to the base, and it just makes it easier so that we don't get, confused about it. And we're going to anchor that at about 2.5 inches in from your centers. Okay, so these are 6 by 12, and we are going to tape those down at 2.5 inches from the centers of the 2 pages. So we're going to go ahead and tape those down. And when you use your 13 by 13 mat, line your paper up perfectly on the inside of the mat and put your edge at the 2.5 inch mark at the bottom. And then it's actually the 9.5 inch mark at the top. And you see how perfectly straight that is without having to really measure with a ruler. So I love using 2 mats together like this because I can do double page spreads very quickly. And I can line up one edge to the next without measuring, and it just makes your pages go so much faster. Okay, so now I have my base for both pages. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this banner, the thick banner that goes across the top. So I'm going to use my stripe. And I need to have this cut at 10.5 by 3. So it's 10.5 inches long and 3 inches wide. But I want my stripe to go side to side. So when I cut this in my trimmer, I'm going to put the stripe up and down when I cut it. And I'm going to cut this at the 3-inch mark. Oops, I have to move that. I'm going to cut this at the 3-inch mark. And I'm just going to flip this around so that I have some of the same colors kind of at the top there. And another one at the 3-inch mark. Okay, so then my banners are going to go side to side, the stripe. Now this needs to be 10.5 inches long. So I am going to just take 1.5 inches off the sides of both of these, and that will give me my 10.5 inches. So stack them up one on top of the other, put them at the 1.5 inch mark. Oops, make sure that they're lined up perfectly straight before you cut them. And even if you went this way on the arm, you see it's at the 10.5 inch mark. Okay, so now to make our banner, what we want to do is we want to take a look at these, and this is how the positioning of our banner. So I want the banner cut, the V, to go inward to the center. So what I want to do is take the edge where I'm going to create my banner and fold the top onto the bottom and just gently crease it. Gently crease it. And then take your scissors and start from the point that's facing you. Have this facing you. Start at the point that's facing you and then just cut inward. And there's a very, very fast banner. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Now, don't forget the other side is the banner is going to be on the left. So I'm going to take that, fold it over towards me, gently crease it, and start with my cut at the very point and cut in towards the middle. And again, a very fast, quick and easy banner. And you're going to want to put this down at about 1 inch from the top. So let's go ahead and adhere this 1 inch from the top. And you can use your regular tape, but at the very points, I like to use the repositionable tape because that will keep my banner edges, oops, that will keep my banner edges from folding up. So I use regular tape and repositionable at the points. And this is going to be about 1 inch down from the top. So I am layering this. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing to the other side. Repositionable on the points. Regular tape on the other parts of it. And 1 inch down from the top. And this is a great way to use your stripes because stripes sometimes are a little harder to work with because they're so dominant. Now we're going to create the 2 bottom banners. So these are the two pieces that go down here at the bottom, and they overlap. You have the shorter one overlapping onto the taller one. So let's do the one behind it first. And that is going to be 1 inch wide by 11 inches long. So I'm going to use my goldenrod here. I need 2 of them, so I'm going to cut at the 1 inch twice. And at the 1 inch again. Okay, and now I need to make this 11 inches. So I'm just going to stack them one on top of the other and cut one edge off at the 1 inch mark. And now that makes it 11 inches. And because this paper doesn't have a real pattern, I can now take it and fold it to make my banner very quickly. I can do 2 at the same time. Okay, so just fold it as we did before, start at the very point and cut inward. And there is your first banner. And now we're going to do the one that goes on top of that. And it's fun to take a little print and put that on top of it on the bottom. So you see that these are all coordinating colors, but these are all the colors that are at that big banner that's predominant at the top. So this needs to be 10.5 by 1 inch. So again, I'm going to cut the 1 inch first, twice. And I need to make this 10.5. So I'm going to stack them one on top of the other and cut that at the 1.5 inch mark. And that will give me a 10.5 inch strip. And again, because this is an overall pattern and one that's not really going in any big direction, I can do both of these at the same time, fold them towards me, and with my microtip scissor, start at the very corner here and clip your way in. And now you have your 2 bottom banners that are going to anchor your page. And we're going to place this at about the 2 inch mark, the yellow. I'm going to place the bigger one at the 2 inch mark. And once we place that one, then this other one is going to go at the 1.5 inch mark. So you see that they are overlapping and all of this exact same colors that are in that big stripe up at the top. So let's tape these down. We're using the exact same idea as we did before. We are using regular tape and repo tape at the points. The reason I use repo tape at the points is because those are little micro dots. I don't know if you can see them, very, very little micro dots. And it goes right up to where there's paper. And if you're using a silicone mat or wax paper or parchment paper, you can go right to the edge there and it does not adhere to your table or anything like that. So your longer banner, you're going to place at the top of it is at the 2 inch mark. And the smaller banner that goes on top is going to be at the 1.5 inch mark from the bottom. So the top of it is at the 1.5 inch mark. And you see how quickly this page really comes together with the banners. And it's just, as I said, a fun way to use up a stripe, which is sometimes difficult to work with because they are so predominant. But using them this way and cutting them really breaks it up. No tape at the bottom. Okay, 1.5 inches. And there we go. And now the last thing we want to do is to add our mats. And we're going to need 6 4x6 mats. 6 4x6 mats. So the easiest thing to do, and I'm going to be using blue because now that's going to be a color that's in, especially in that stripe. The easiest thing to do is to get your piece that's 12 by 12. Let's cut it at the 4-inch mark 2 times. So now we have this at 4 inches. Again at 4 inches. And now we're going to take all 3, stack them up together, make sure they're nice and straight. Open your arm on your trimmer and put this at the 6-inch mark. And because you're cutting through 3, kind of go a few times, and that will make sure that it's cut all the way through. Okay, and now you're ready to just place your mats. Remove this. And you can place your mats however you want. I'm trying not to cover so much of this piece here because it does have another pattern on it. So I might do something like this. Maybe I'll do it this way. There we go. And then we can add our titles and everything here. So I would put the mat, your top mat, I would start this about 1.5 inches in and about 1/2 inch from the top. So let's go ahead and tape those down. And then this way, what you're doing is you're kind of centering it on this banner, but not covering the whole thing up. So it's 1/2 inch down from the top, 1.5 inches in from your centers. And this way you still have a lot of that stripe showing. And if you're not sure what size or what directions your pictures are going, then by all means, just cut your mats and don't take them down until you are ready. Now I'm going to put this in about 1/2 inch in from the edge and about 1/2 inch from that other piece, the other mat. And I'm going to take this one and I want to put the top of that mat. I want it even, so that's probably going to be about the 5-inch mark down. I want it kind of even to this other side here. Okay, and we're just doing this 1/2 inch in from your edge and about 1/2 inch between the mats that are already there. And then this one, I want to line up that edge with the edge that I have. And now you can go ahead and add all of your die cuts if you want. You can certainly add die cuts and fun things like this, just for some fun. I'm going to put the art pencils there. Okay, so you see how quickly this page comes together. And this is the school layout. And so tell me which one you like the best. I did it in school tonight. Then I have, this is party time bright with the blue papers for more masculine design. And then the US of Yay, some of the papers and a patriotic layout. So I hope you enjoyed the layout. It's very quick and easy with your 3 banners. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Bev DeBono Designs, and I have many videos up online for you to see. Thanks a lot and hope you tune in next week. Bye-bye.